Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kids TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And hit that post notification so anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You'll be one of the first, or amongst the first, if you will, to receive it. Now, with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. Sunday afternoon, it's about 2:33 approximately p.m. Watching my Dallas Cowboys destroy the Rams, absolutely destroy the Rams. It's halftime. You know, I had to chime in with my favorite peeps, my YouTube family, you know what I mean? So decided to jump on here as I usually do on Sundays and, you know, share a video with you all, share a story. As you can see, I got my Dallas Cowboys, you know, hoodie on, courtesy of my daughter. You know, she got this for me for Christmas last year. And yeah, we definitely doing the damn thing today, you know. Another thing I want to address before I get into the story of the day. Thank you to everybody that sent me the super thanks and the birthday wishes and just, you know, overflow of abundant love. And I just want to thank you all. Definitely appreciative of it. So again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. It was a beautiful birthday. It didn't really do much, but hey, I'm not in prison, man. You know what I mean? So that right there is enough for me. You know, I'm around my family and just to be able to be out here and be free, that's all I needed. So again, salute, thanks you all. There is a message today. And, you know, it's a little touchy. It's a little touchy, but I have to share it. I must share it, you know, particularly to the young people and just anybody that's really out there in them streets, man. You know, true story as I usually bring you, you know, and this particular situation really hit home with me because it happened to a personal family member. Little nephew had just turned 21 years old. Just turned 21. It's coming up on 2 years at this point. And he'd been having some trouble with the law. He had gotten caught up in a situation to where, and I believe that I actually told this story on my channel. Him and a couple friends decided to go and rob someone, you know, allegedly. And everything was planned out. So they thought this individual was either not supposed to be home, or if he was home, he wasn't armed. Never carried a gun. I'm not sure exactly which one that it was. Possibly both. But nevertheless, him and a couple friends, you know, they went in. Decided to go in. And the guy actually ended up being home. He fired on one of them. One of his partners got hit, I think in the arm, the shoulder, something like that. He didn't die. And turned into a shootout. It was not able to rob the dude. They ended up running off because, like I said, the guy, you know, he was home and he had a weapon. Well, my cousin ends up getting, my nephew, rather. I was thinking about my other cousin. So we're going to rewind. You know, I don't do any editing, so let's rewind. My nephew ends up getting caught up in the situation. And they all get caught, prosecuted, obviously, and end up going to prison. End up catching a 10-year sentence. So he didn't go to trial. He ended up taking a plea deal, so he gets 10 years. Well, in the state of Kentucky, as long as it's deemed non-violent, you do 20% of your time before you see the parole board. So in this situation, he had a great lawyer, and because initially they were trying to give him 15 years in which he'd have to do 85% of that time before he went up for parole. And then, you know, it went down to 10 years at 85%, which means 8.5 years. But his lawyer ended up getting him just a regular 10 years, which means you only do 2 years to the parole board, and then you have an opportunity to go home. You know, I guess that's the strength of having a powerful lawyer, an attorney. But nevertheless, he goes in, he does his 2 years, and he goes up for parole. Now, mind you, at the time, you know, my nephew's young. He's, you know, maybe just turning 18. Yeah, just turning 18, fresh in. So he's off the chain, man. He's getting write-ups. He stays in the hole. He's cussing out the guards. He's, you know, he's just wild. He's wilding. He goes up for parole. They give him parole. No programs. He hadn't taken any classes, anything. They give him parole. I always thought that that was very, very odd, because I couldn't understand. Yeah, that's my nephew, but I couldn't understand, why would you all give him parole? He hasn't learned anything. You know, he hasn't had an opportunity to really, you know, get involved and take any classes or anything like that, but you all just give him parole. I really, really thought that that was strange. So in my mind, being that I've been in the system, you know, several times, I say, okay, they must feel like he's going to go back out and reoffend. So we're going to go ahead and give him parole. I mean, whatever other reason could it be? Even though it wasn't deemed a violent charge by, you know, by law, as far as, you know, the plea deal that he took, the violent charge, typically on a violent charge involving guns and robberies, you're not getting parole. And if you do, they're going to make you serve the majority of your sentence before they give you parole. They gave him parole, as I mentioned. So the day that he came out, I went and picked him up, and I was in my mom's storage unit. You know, I was moving some stuff for my mom around, and because she was transitioning as far as moving, so she had a storage unit, and he came and hung out with me for a few hours. You know, I talked to him. A buddy of mine was over there that had been, you know, incarcerated as well, so we talked to him, and, you know, just kind of picking his brain as far as, what are you going to do? What do you what do you want to do? What do you know, so, you know, gave him a little money, man, and then he went on about his way, you know, went on about his day, because, you know, you first come home, you want to see your girl, your family, your kids, you know, you want to see all your people. So he went on about his way, and, you know, I thought everything was cool. Fast forwarding 6 months later, he had gotten caught up into another situation in which allegedly they were saying that, you know, he was in a shootout. So he gets arrested for that while on parole. Once he gets arrested for that, you know, he, you know, calls my sister, and she's like, no, I'm not bonding you out. You know, but Mom, it wasn't me. If you look at the video, you can just clearly tell that it wasn't me. But yeah, you wasn't even supposed to even be in that situation, in that scenario. So no, I'm not bonding you out. I love you, son, but you're just going to have to, you know, it's tough love right here. We just paid $20,000 for your attorney the first time. Made sure you was good while you was locked up. Sent you money for commissary, phone calls, you know, things of that nature. And then you come back home, and within 6 months, you right back in a similar situation. So no, I'm not bonding you out. Well, his friends ended up, you know, all chipping in, and they lowered his bond to like $1,000. He gets out. Once again, me being a guy that's been in the system, I couldn't understand that. Y'all lower his bond. An individual that's on parole, an individual that's has another shooting case or involved in another shooting case, you all lower his bond? Now, when I say that in the most concerned manner, not hating manner, because you never want anybody to be, sitting in jail. So I was just concerned as though, why are they showing him so much love? You got guys that's, child support cases, petty thefts, and they go see the parole board, and the parole board tells them, hey, come back and see us in 18 months, and we'll think about letting you out. So when you see violence, it just makes you wonder. No, he was not working with the authorities. No, he was not not cooperative, anything like that, as far as, dealing with the prosecution and, the detectives and, the police. He was not cooperative. Didn't tell on anybody, just, hey, it wasn't me right there. So when they bond him out, the judge makes him wear ankle monitor. He's on house arrest, basically. So he's on house arrest, One night, I never will forget, I got the call. It was right before Christmas. He just celebrated his 21st birthday. I got the call. I don't remember the exact date, but I know it was right before Christmas. When I say right before Christmas, probably about a week or so before Christmas. And, before I go into the call, actually, my sister had been telling me that she had been on him about, just doing the right thing, trying to keep a job, making sure that you keep certain people out of your life. Just, just doing the right thing in life because, she loves him to death. Obviously, she doesn't want him to go back into the same situation that he just came out of. So for his 21st birthday, which was actually in November, she allowed him to have like a little get-together, a little party at the house. Friends came over. Everybody's showing love. Everybody's cool. No problem. 21 is a very, very young age to go out at. And 3 weeks later, after his birthday, or roughly 3 weeks later after his birthday, is when I received the call. My cousin calls me. I never will forget, I was walking in the house. It was about 10 o'clock at night. Again, I'm painting the picture, a week approximately before Christmas. Devin's been shot. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, he's been shot, man. So I'm like, is he okay? I mean, what hospital is he at? He's gone, man. I'm like, what? He's gone. Phone gets quiet. I'm not saying anything. I'm in disbelief. My cousin's not saying anything. Tears just immediately start to stream down my face, as one would. So I'm like, yo, what happened? My cousin was like, he was at home. Somebody came to the door. He was at the door talking to a female. There was another dude at the door just as well. They talked for a while. The other dude went back to his car while the female stayed there in the doorway, you know, talking to my nephew. The guy comes back. Everything's on video. The guy comes back. Wow, shoots my nephew. I believe he got shot in the neck area, somewhere right in that area. He runs off. The girl stays for a second. She's trying to wake him up. Yo, wake up. Get up, please. Get up. Wake up, please. My sister's house is a foyer area when you first walk in. So, from what I was told, you know, by my cousins, he was just laying there. Blood on the wall, blood on the floor. Police came, got the area, you know, marked off or whatnot. You know, I guess they pronounced him, you know, deceased at the scene. My sister, she's going crazy. She don't know what's going on. She don't understand why. She's hysterical. They won't let her go but so far in the house, a house that she owns, but it's a crime scene. Blood on the wall, blood on the floor, puddles. She's trying to understand and make sense of it. Who would do this? Why would they do this? You know, when you live in that street life, there are no rules in the street game. You know, people tell me that back in the day, you know, it was rules to the streets as far as if you're going to get your opponent, your op, as they say these days, you definitely don't run to their mama's house and do it. But like I say now, man, these youngsters now, man, there's no respect for the game. There are no rules. I'm going to get you when I get you. I don't care if you with your baby. I don't care if you with your mama. I don't care who you with. When I see you, we're going to hold court. And that's what it seems like. It seems like that's what it's come to these days. And I was talking to my uncle just the other night, Friday night, and he was telling me that you've never experienced anything more hurtful than having to clean up the blood from your own relative. In his case, his grandson. Scrubbing the walls, scrubbing the floor, not understanding what's going on, not understanding why, what happened. And it was a very, very trying time, you know, for my sister and you know, the rest of the family. You know, people knew what was going on, but, you know, people weren't saying anything. And these youngsters are so heartless, and I'm not speaking of all young people. But the ones that I am speaking of, you know, they were so heartless to where, you know, they was jumping on, I think, Twitter and Instagram and celebrating another op down. But, you know, they wasn't saying his name, but pretty much knew who they were speaking of. Another op down. We smoking on, you know, we smoking on such. That's the thing, you know. That's what they say. So if a dude's name is Jason and, you know, he's dead, man, we smoking on Jason. You know, smoking a blunt or whatever. He's smoking his ashes. Like, it's just very, very, very disrespectful. And these are the trying times, as I mentioned, that we live in. So for the longest, you know, situation, and I can only speak so much on the case because it still is an open case. So I can't go in depth with the case. But I will say that, you know, they ended up maybe a year later arresting an individual for it. Come to find out, this individual that they arrested for it, allegedly, you know, had killed somebody else that same day. So now, you know, when my sister's going to court and, you know, his family, they're giving her the mean looks and mean stares as though she did something to them. As though, you know, they're the victims. Because he's on the phone. No, mama, I didn't do that. They lying on me, mama. Lying on you, huh? Okay. So, as I mentioned, you know, the case is still ongoing. You know, praying that she gets her justice. And I just wanted to share this message today because although I know that a lot of people choose not to listen when older guys such as myself tries to explain things to them and let them know that the direction that they're heading in is definitely the wrong direction. Perhaps, just perhaps, maybe one person will listen and change their life based on this situation. You know, what's so crazy is my sister was actually in the store shopping, Christmas shopping. She had her stuff on the, you know, at the register when she got the call. Shopping for him. You know, she has 2 other daughters too, and then, you know, just the rest of the family. It was going to be their first Christmas together in, you know, in some years. Because, as I mentioned, he had been incarcerated. Literally was Christmas shopping. And get a call and say, your son has been killed. You want to say, when does it stop? But you realize it's probably not going to stop. It seems as though it's only going to get worse. You killed this man. It's bad enough that you killed him. But you killed him in his mother's doorway. A house that she still lives in to this day. She has to think about that gruesome scene, I would imagine, every time, you know, she walks in the house. Yeah, you know, my family, it's a family house. So, you know, my family, they're getting the house redone and remodeled. That doesn't mean anything. Imagine seeing your son or daughter just laying there helpless. And there's nothing that you can do about it. So for you youngsters, man, you know, and I'll say it and I'll continue to say it. There's a better way, man. Half you dudes is out here in the streets, don't even got to be in the streets. You come from good families, 2-parent homes. But you listening to this drill music and you listening to, and I'm not blaming it on rap because back in the day, I was you couldn't tell me I wasn't a no limit soldier. We no limit soldiers. I thought I told you. We no limit soldiers. I thought I told you. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a no limit soldier. But at the same time, I knew the distinction, if you will, between music and real life happenings, reality. Y'all heard Master P and them talking about certain things in songs, but I didn't go out here and do it. I just liked the song. I knew, okay, I can't go out here and do some of the things that I'm hearing because I'll end up I'll end up in prison or dead. So I'm not going to use the music as an excuse because people know right from wrong. I just think, man, people want fast money and people want to be out here in the streets. They think it's cool. It's all fine and dandy. It's all cool till a judge slaps you with that 50-year sentence. And now your mama's running around talking about, man, they did my son wrong and free, you know, whatever the son's name is. Free my son t-shirts. Knowing your son was an absolute monster out here. Didn't even need to be. Not saying that anybody ever needs to be. But you got some people that come from, you know, very poor backgrounds. And their life is not as easy as an individual that maybe is raised in the suburbs. 2 parents. You know, family, you know, may not necessarily be rich, but, you know, everybody got jobs. Everybody, you know. Y'all seen the movie Malibu's Most Wanted? If you haven't, check it out. I'm sure most of you all have seen it. But check it out if you haven't seen it. Rich kid wanted to be a street dude. There's nothing cool about being a street dude. Nothing. Half that stuff you see, more than half. I would say 90% of that stuff you see on Instagram, social media, you know, videos. Man, people ain't really living like that, man. They not living. It's entertainment. They're not really living like that. But a lot of people see it and they want to emulate what they see, if you will, on social media. Then end up getting themselves caught up. Now they sitting there facing 30, 40 years, life sentence. You didn't even have to. You could have just kept going to school, kept playing basketball, baseball, football, whatever you was playing. Getting your good grades. Working on a trade, a craft, you know, art, drawing, you know, cutting hair, doing hair, building houses, painting houses. Whatever your trade, whatever that God blessed you with, you could have been doing that, but now you wanted to run the streets. You want to run the streets, and these are the type of things that happen when you run them streets, man. There was other people in that house. Thank God nobody else got injured, shot, killed. It's bad enough that my nephew did. But there were other people in the house. They just, you know, weren't in the same room at the time that it happened. These people will shoot your house up with your family, your kids, your grandkids, your brothers, sisters, whoever, mother, grandmother. Shoot your house up, man. So guess what? When you shoot my house up, oh, you kill my dog, I'm going to kill your cat. So now I'm coming to shoot your house up. You wasn't concerned with who was in my house when you came and shot it up. So now I'm coming to shoot yours up. And it's just ongoing. It's back and forth. Stay out of them streets, man. Stay out of them streets, youngsters. Go to school. That's where it's at, school. It don't have to be college. Get you a trade. Get you a skill. And stay out them streets. Because you're going to die or you're going to go penitentiary. I know you done heard it 1,000,001 times. It's been said several different times over the years. But hey, that's what it is. You're going to die in them streets or you're going to go penitentiary. For a long, long time. I don't care about Lil Twan and you know, Lil Michi. And you know, I'm just making up names. This is not real life, you know, names actually. I don't care if they caught a body and only got 8 years, 10 years. For every person that only gets 10 years for a body, guess what? It's probably 500 of them that's serving life or a lot of years. 35, 45 years at 85%. Sometimes the prosecution just can't get it all together as far as the witnesses and string everything together to make a solid case. So they'll take some conviction, a conviction, opposed to allowing you to go to trial and just beating it. Because they know that you're going to be right back in the system. We'll get them next time. Even though we want them now, we'll get them next time. Stay out them streets, man. It ain't worth it. You want to send your mama through that pain, that agony? You want your mother to see you laying there like that? Sad situation, sad story, but you know, I just felt the need to share that with you all this afternoon. You know, I'm gonna get back to my Dallas Cowboys game. You know, I know that it was out of hand at halftime, but hey, it's the NFL, man. Anything can happen. hopefully you all have a beautiful afternoon. And again, thanks for all the love and support. I look forward to you all growing with me. Hopefully this channel continues to grow. About 6.5 months in now, and just see where we can take it at, man. You know, a lot of times people ask me, and I'll say this before I go, why you don't talk about trending topics? Sometimes I talk about other things, because it's not just a prison channel. I don't want to be boxed into just talking about prison all the time. But I want to give people something to think about, motivation, and you know, I could easily get on here and talk about different things that's going on in the world, and I will from time to time, but gossiping is just not my thing, man. I'm not going to get on here and gossip. He said this and he said that and talk badly about people. Nah, man. It's just not what I do. I don't do this for views. I mean, obviously I want views, but I'm not going to do anything for views. I'm not going to compromise my integrity. So I'm going to just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. In this case. You know what I mean? Turtle don't always lose the race. That's what I keep telling myself. The turtle does not always lose the race. So when I do a video and I get 60 or 70 views, hey, guess what? I'm happy. Because I know those 60, 70 views, people genuinely are tuning in to see me for me. No gossiping, no controversy, no talking bad about people. No, they just genuinely tuning in to see me for me and to see what I have to say. So salute. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you liked the video. Share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Comments. Express yourself. Feel free to whatever you want to say it on this channel. You know what I mean? Real Kens TV. Oh, make sure you hit that post notification as well. I almost forgot. You thought I was going to let y'all get away. Hit that post notification. Anytime I bring you this action, this heat, guess what? Amongst the first to receive it. Go Dallas. See that? Go Cowboys.